And going live, right? Happy holidays! Merry New Year! I'm Mark Tullis. This is my partner, Kirsten Kuhlman.
Hello.
And we are live from the Coffee Cup Productions Nerve Center. And for those of you following our personal pages, you know that we actually took some time off to visit family and friends in Germany. But we did come home with some inspirational music and a coffee talk with international recording artist Marshall Titus. And he has illuminated for us the connection between the sister cities of Chicago and Hamburg, Germany. So the audio for this podcast is already up on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play.
Switch the graphic.
Oh, yeah. This is the visual aid here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, you can download our podcast there. This is already up there. And look for Coffee Talk. It is coffee with an A-W.
And we're going to end the year with a bang with our interview with Marshall Titus. Enjoy.
Enjoy the music and conversation. I'm going to start by saying, welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm Mark Tullis, and this is my partner, Kirsten Kuhlman.
Hello.
Hello.
We also have DJ Wi-Fi Melanie Kuhlman with us.
DJ Wi-Fi.
DJ Wi-Fi.
And we are coming to you from Hamburg. And we are doing some. Genau. And we have with us Marshall Titus, Chicago. He's now a shy burger.
A shy burger.
A shy burger. I love that. I love that.
Chi-town, Chicago, Hamburg fusion.
Oh, so originally from Chicago,
Yes.
now in Hamburg.
Yes.
Tell us.
Tell everybody where we are.
Oh, yeah. Explain where we are right now.
We are sitting in Café Genosse on Langerei. The street is called Langerei in St. Georg, the St. Georg neighborhood in the center of Hamburg. Yeah.
Nice. And you came to Hamburg how? How did you get here?
It was 2012. I arrived September 21st, which was a Friday, early Friday morning. I was invited to come and sing at a benefit concert that a friend of mine who's originally from Chicago, who's been living here for over 20 years, his name is Byron Jones, and he used to dance with the Joseph Holmes Dance Theater in Chicago, and that's where I know him from. And he's produced this benefit concert called Sing for Life, which raises money for HIV research and AIDS. And so he said, well, if I can get you to Hamburg, would you sing at the concert? I'm like, oh, let me think about that. Yeah, of course. Of course I will. That was what brought me here. I had a round trip ticket. And I was, like I said, I arrived on a Friday, and I was supposed to return to Chicago the following Thursday, which was September 27th. And so Byron picks me up from the airport. It was
Spiritual, right?
It really was.
Spiritual.
And coming here wasn't my first time in Germany. I had been to Germany in 1996 and almost moved to Cologne then, but didn't. And so between 1997 and me returning, I'd always wondered what my life would have been like if I had stayed. And so coming back to Germany it had a lot of, it meant a lot.
Yeah.
And in Hamburg, my initial impression was just so beautiful and powerful in that moment and driving along the Alster. It just was wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty gorgeous.
It really is gorgeous. And in that time of the year, I was like really blown away. I arrived the Friday, and then the following day, the Saturday, I did this vocal workshop, and that was really great. And I was like, wow. I'm like, wow.
That's really awesome.
And it was just like, huh. And so my third day, the Sunday, and the concert was on the Monday. So Friday arrived, Saturday had the vocal workshop, and Sunday was my free day. And he had put me up in this hotel, the Side Hotel, which was really lovely. And so I just started walking around, because whenever I'm in a new place, I just I would like walking and exploring. And so that's what I did. I walked down Stephanplatz, which was right by Planten and Blumen, which is one of my favorite parks, but I didn't know where I was at the time. But as I'm walking, and I mean this literally, figuratively and literally, a voice said, "Stay. Don't go back." It was clear to me, and my whole body started sort of vibrating with the excitement of even the thought of staying, because I always wanted to come back to Germany.
And looking for the sunshine, someone throw a lifeline, stuck in every trap, trying to get out of here, get me where I'm going. I'm not really knowing, only heaven can help. Driving on just three wheels, just three wheels.
And there was always this wonder, what would have happened if, so it was all of that, and I wanted to come back, and now here I am. I'm back, and this time, you always wonder what would have happened if you stayed. Don't wonder again.
Just do it.
Do it.
Just do it, yeah.
But I only had like $100 with me. I only knew Byron. I had a return ticket to Chicago, and the voice said, "Stay." And I'm like, "Stay?"
On $100?
And I don't, and what, but.
And the swans were still in the lake.
Yeah, it was just all of this.
All beautiful.
And
outdoor cafes.
All of that. And the
Everything was,
architecture.
the architecture's amazing.
I'm in Europe.
Yep.
I'm back where I said I wanted to be. Because I've always, for many years, I wanted to have the experience of living in Europe or abroad. And when I was first in Germany, I had a taste of that. And I'm like, ooh, I want to see what this could be like. Because I always felt like that my music could flourish in Europe, even more so in the States.
Which is the course for a lot of musicians.
Right.
Yeah, and that's and everybody sort of has that dream or wants to at least try.
Right.
So
7 years later.
7 years later.
So you're living here for 7 years now.
This is the beginning of my 7th year, and I've only been back to Chicago twice in the 7 years.
So in the one time you came back, we met you.
And
We met you
now
the
see,
one time.
right now see, that's another part of this whole journey that confirms everything I say about making the decision to stay, because when Keith told me he wanted to shoot this video, and I come and here you are having lived in Hamburg.
Right. Yeah.
I would have never, that would have never meant anything to me.
Right.
Keith Stewart, Musical.
Yeah, and Keith and I, just before coming over here, we had been writing and producing songs for my own project. And as a matter of fact, I have a video clip of us in his studio like a week or so before I was to come to Hamburg. And he asked me, well, what do you think? What do you want to happen? Or what do you think, and I forgot my response, but I have it on video. So it's something.
You have to find that.
See that, yeah.
But
Speaking of video, you sent us some of your stuff, and boy, did we enjoy. What was
The Deutsche Bahn?
Deutsche Bahn, Slow Jam,
Slow Jam.
ECE Fear.
Yeah. So Marshall is a star over here in Germany. He was in an ad for the Deutsche Bahn, which is
It's like the Amtrak.
right.
It's like
yep,
Amtrak.
it's like Amtrak, only way better.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. So he's done that, and he is also now a flourishing musician here.
Yeah, tell us about your
Playing-
album, because we're going to play some music for
Oh,
everybody.
great.
Yeah.
Well, that's another part of my journey. When I came over here, like I said, I had recorded a couple of songs with Keith with the intention of releasing them. But I come here and I started meeting and building my network of musician friends and producers. And so 2015, just before I came to Chicago,
Okay.
I started recording the Sal CD, which I gave you. And
And why is it called Sal?
that stands for Send a Little Love, which is the title of the last song on this CD. Since living here, I met so many musicians, and it seemed like there's so many singer-songwriters here, and everybody's walking around with a guitar on their back. Everybody plays guitar, it seems like. And I'm like, wow. So,
Marshall doesn't play guitar.
well,
Now he does.
now, before I came here, I didn't, but now I do.
Yeah.
So the Sal album is a product of my Hamburg life.
I really love that song. Send
Yeah.
a Little Love. It's
Thank
a
you.
wonderful song.
Thank you.
I love
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
We should play that one.
We'll play that.
Saw a man just the other day with the saddest look on his face, like he just lost the best friend he ever had. I asked him what's got you feeling so blue. Is there something I can do for you? He looked back at me, and this is all he could say. Say, send a little love my way. Send it to me right away. 'Cause the world has gone crazy. They're shooting up our babies. What we gonna do? Give a little love today. We need it now, we can't delay. Before it's all over, remember that I told you, give someone some love today. A young boy, barely 14, cut down before he could live his dream. It's just one more story on the news today. Yeah. How many lives must we lose till we learn? Play with fire, gonna get burned. You can run, 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 but there's no hiding place. Send a little love my way. Send it to me right away. 'Cause the world is gone crazy. They're shooting up our babies. What we gonna do? Ooh, give a little love today. We need it now, we can't delay. Before it's all over, remember that I told you, give someone some love today. Yeah. Come on and stand up, raise your hands up. It's morning time, open your eyes and wake up. There's something in the air. You see it everywhere. I know you feel it too. What we're gonna do? Send a little love my way. Send it to me right away. 'Cause the world has gone crazy. They're shooting up our babies. What we're gonna do? Give a little love today. We need it now, we can't delay. Before it's all over, remember that I told you, give someone some love today. Send a little love my way. Send it to me right away. 'Cause the world has gone crazy. They're shooting up our babies. What we gonna do? Give a little love today. We need it now, we can't delay. Before it's all over, remember that I told you, give someone some love today. Send a little love my way.
And there's a single version which I did first, a single in 2013 with another friend of mine here, Fritz Darius, which is it's completely different kind of feel than the album version. But Send a Little Love is also the first song that I wrote while living here, and it came through Q. Because since I've been here, we still stay in touch, and he'll send me a track. And so that's how Send a Little Love started. He sent me a track and said, what can you do with this? And that's how that song came. And also Like a Lullaby, that he sent me a track, and it turned into Like a Lullaby on the CD. Sal represents, my Hamburg life.
Interesting, though, that it's your Hamburg life, but it's still connected to Chicago.
Of course.
I think that's really cool that you can't just create in a vacuum. You're creating worldwide.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that's, people ask me, what kind of music do you do? What's your style of music? And I tell them global soul. That's what I create, because I've always envisioned myself as an international artist. And so again, living here now, it sort of it doesn't complete, but it fills in the image I have of myself.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. And you have no design on going back home, right?
Not to live.
Not to live.
But I would like, on my last visit in June, this past June, I left there feeling that I would like to create a situation that I will have work that would take me there to spend a little time to make sure that I still have some kind of presence there, but not to live there necessarily.
Tell us how people can find your stuff, and then introduce us to the people that are on this recording.
Okay.
Because we're gonna share.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You can visit MarshallTitus.com. MarshallTitus.com. And you can also find me on all the other digital platforms, the iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Google, all over there. The album, the CD Sal, was co-produced by a friend of mine named Benta Faust. He's a Hamburg musician and artist.
And that was his studio?
Yeah, we recorded it at his studio called Off Your Tree Studio. And
What is that? What's the translation there?
Just like it's you off your tree.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Off your tree.
There you go.
Yeah. And it was recorded live pretty much with my band. Well, I say my band, but the musicians that I work with here, Julie Guitar Schmiedeberg,
She's the guitarist.
She's
right?
the guitarist.
Yeah, I've
And-
seen her in your videos.
Right.
She's insane.
and we've
Yeah.
met December 16th, 2012 at a Christmas party on a boat.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
She's great.
I know.
Yeah.
And she was playing for someone else, and I said we need to get together. And so we've been working together ever since then.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so she's playing on there. The Grimm brothers, Michael and Matthias Grimm. And Michael is the drummer, and he's like phenomenal drummer. He plays for Enigma. You know,
Yeah.
he is on tour with Enigma now. There's one of Germany's biggest rap artists, Sammy Deluxe. He's with Sammy Deluxe, and his brother Matthias on bass. And Matthias is in this really, like, I don't know if they call themselves punk rock, but he has a rock band. I forgot the name of them, but they're blowing up now. And so essentially, it was the four of us playing in the studio live, and then we had some other musicians come in later and add some things, and we recorded all 13 songs in 6 days.
Wow.
And then added stuff later, but the main bed was done in 6 days, and I've never recorded like that. But the intention was to go in, just do them, and live, organic, and then do some things afterwards, and it went just like that. It was very smooth.
And some of the songs you wrote them.
I wrote all of
across with with Keith,
Yo,
sending tracks back and forth.
Send a Little Love, Like a Lullaby, Bees That Way Sometime. I originally recorded with Keith in Chicago, but then I did another version for the album, a new version. Let me see what other song did it. The Zone, recorded the first version with Keith, but then I did a new version for the album. So Keith and I have about 5 songs on the album. So he's well represented.
Very shy burger.
Very shy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith's a shy burger by,
For real.
by injection.
He's
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just released a new digital single this past Friday. It's called Calling on My Angels.
Yes. Yeah, we listened to that this morning.
Okay,
Very cool.
Yeah.
thank you.
Wipe your eyes. Be strong now. It ain't easy letting go. Maybe time will find a way to show us all the things we need to know. I'm calling on my angels. Come and lay your hands on me. Calling on my angels. Help me make it through another day. I'm calling on my angels. Closer than my heartbeat. Calling on my, I'm calling on my angels. lay your hands on me, calling on my angels. Help me make it through another day. I'm calling on my angels, closer than my heartbeat. Calling on my, I'm calling on my, I'm calling on my angels. Calling on my, I'm calling on my, calling on my angels. Got my angels watching over, watching over, over me. Got my angels watching over, watching over, over me. Got my angels watching over, watching over, over me. Got my angels watching over, watching over, over me.
But in terms of the Soul album, I have favorites, and I do have what I think fan favorites also. I'm happy to say that people really respond well to the album and the music on it.
I gotta say, I mean, we've known Marshall for a very short time, but we got to know him in Chicago. He's brilliant, he's lovely, and then we hook up here with him, and he's like beaming. He's constantly beaming. He's beaming this energy, this crazy, wonderful, beautiful energy is just amazing. He loves it here. He loves his music. He loves what he's doing here, and it's like oozing out of every pore of this man. It's just so cool.
And now when I think about it, I can't imagine what my life would have been like if I had gone back to Chicago.
Right.
You know, you meet people or situations happen and you think it's, serendipitous, but for me, I don't call it serendipitous. I know that everything is divinely designed, and my Hamburg experience is my validation on that. Mm-hmm. And whenever I am in a situation where I don't know how this is going to work. I know to trust my instincts. Yep. And my inner voice, because it knows.
Because you did this and it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Cool. Well, let that be a lesson to you, folks. Listen
Go with
to your inner
guts.
voice. Yes.
Go with your guts.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, thank you, Marshall. We're also going to work this into our original push initiative, because people need to push their original music out there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. More than ever before.
Yeah, I believe
because, and this is a whole nother kind of conversation, but as in everything else in our world now, there's, you might want to call it conspiracy, but there's a design to change the way people think and be, and you can look at how music and our culture are being programmed, or people are being programmed, and the bar has been dropped so low, in our music and arts, and you can see it in the politics and everything. Yeah. And so many people are left to believe that sometimes I feel like there's no good music out there, there's no good artists, or where do they go? Mm-hmm. You don't see it anymore. Mm-hmm. It's still out there. You have to go and find it. And independent artists such as myself and many other artists that I know personally that are doing great work and really, really deserve a bigger platform and for people to know who they are. It's, on one hand, it's good because we retain the power to, make things happen for ourselves, but it's even harder because then you have this great big system and machine trying to suppress what's happening. So it is important that we have outlets like this too.
We have to change the algorithm.
Yeah, we
Exactly.
do. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Marshall, this is really cool that you took the time to.
No, thank you. This is
so
great.
much.
I love it.
This is great. All right. Well,
All right.
just stay tuned for the music.
Yes, listen.
Hang on.
Check out Marshall Titus, everybody.
Thank you.
I can hear you talking in your sleep. I can hear you saying things, secrets that you keep. Looking in the mirror, what do you see? Tell me, is it everything you wanna be? How many times must you fall to your knees? Hands in the air, Lord help me please. And how many signs must you fail to see? Oh, let the rain come down and wash you clean. Cause it bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Oh yeah, bees that way sometimes. I could stand here in a crowd and still feel all alone. Drink a bucket full of water, still be drier than a bone. Could be walking down the street, find $1,000 bill. Wind come blow it out my hands, never to see it again. How many times must I fall to my knees? Hands in the air, Lord help me please. And how many signs must I fail to see? Oh, let the rain come down and wash me clean. Cause it bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Sometimes this world can be so cold, hardens your heart and freezes your soul. But just remember, when life gets you down, hold on, be strong. Oh yeah, bees that way sometimes. It bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Sing! Bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Oh, yeah. Bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Oh, yeah. Bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Bees that way, bees that way, bees that way sometimes. Bees that way, bees that way,